Okay, and I guess we're stopped at 30 minutes, so we begin part two. So, continuing, so this student, just to summarize, is investigating all the different types of degree paths. So, first, she gives a brief summary. Absolutely. She visits the pathway map for her degree in biosciences. She should be quoting it. There were some positive things here. I would have liked to have seen some actual courses that she recognizes that she needs to take, and even some insight on what she's gaining from them. She also researches her graduate degrees that she could earn. But right there, I'm going to stop and say, why would she skip over the undergraduate degree? So these are what she is taking at community college for the first 2 years. But there's really no discussion about not just what her actual bachelor's degree might be, but where. Now, I know, and if you're viewing this, you know that she is set at ASU. I'd like to see at least a couple of different options. Again, for each of you that are researching your possible in state opportunities. Again, you don't have to do anything with your lives, but you are for this project choosing not just a certification, but what if you took it a step further? Somehow, what degrees are out there? I should see at least one in state 4 year college option. If that is at all available or somehow from your degree, and then moving on to a bachelor's degree, that discussion should be in there. That's a little detraction from her success on this project at this point. So she skipped the bachelor's. That's a critique, but she is more interested in learning about graduate school. And here's what she came up with. So she went to Ferguson's Career Center, pointing out to either be a doctor of osteopathy, DO, or an MD. And so I'm going to skip over that a little bit. But what she wants to learn is what different types of doctors are out there. That's very good because that can have an impact into the type of medical schools that she goes to. She also decided to ask what are the pros and cons of an MD versus a DO degree, right? Medical doctor or doctor of osteopathy. That's pretty solid. And she quotes her research assistant, good old Chat GPT, pretty solid. She could have also posed this question to her professors in a topic expert interview, and she probably would have found some information from the Ferguson's Career Center. You don't have that available for this project, but you do have other career research resources available. Check your resources. And I would have liked to have seen a paragraph break here, and again, a little bit more discussion. But she wants to learn. She learned about osteopathic manipulative treatment. And again, she's at least recognizing here's something I've learned, and I recognize I need to know more about it. Next question. What resources from MCC, from other schools I plan on attending, and even from elsewhere, provide that can they what can they provide that can make my education and career path more economical? Economical being the key term here. So recognize that you should be addressing what does CAC offer in terms of financial resources, scholarships, some sort of grants. What other schools that I plan on attending? Look at the other side of the equation. What financial aid opportunities are available? What scholarships? And from elsewhere. Those could be federal programs, private scholarships, and yes, if you have family support, you don't need to give me numbers. That's not necessarily relevant. What's relevant? But if you that you don't want to personalize it, fine. But you could mention that you do or may very well not have financial support. So, what are the resources to help make your path more economical? And she approached this a question looking for financial aid opportunities, looking at MCC and ASU. Very good. Here's what she found. So, first, at MCC, she found a study abroad scholarship, a bookstore scholarship, then a specific scholarship. She found 3 scholarships through MCC that could be applicable. She also found federal work study opportunities. CAC has those as well. Think about that as an opportunity. Some of my college students, and this may be you, have lousy jobs that don't support your futures in the sense of if your manager is not giving you consistent hours, the work conditions make you very fatigued, they're not building your resume adequately. So, a work study position with a college, CAC as well, could be a great option. She also recognized that the Department of Education student aid website has the Pell Grant, which she qualifies for. She's citing evidence from the website. She went to ASU's transfer guide. Uh, this is a really strong section, and it demonstrates that she's gone through the research. This is just fantastic work. She also mentions what are some strategies from ChatGPT to make her path more economical. Here, she also mentions that there are nonprofit organizations, and yes, some employers offer tuition reimbursement. That's just great stuff right there. So she's gaining a pretty solid footing on what opportunities are available. Later on, when she starts making a plan, right, that 5 year college career and life plan, she can use this evidence and think, okay, this semester, what should I apply for? Once I transfer to ASU, what do I apply for? So she's gaining the evidence that's empowering her to put together a cohesive plan. Okay, let's focus next section. What programs, clubs, and other opportunities through MCC, where I plan on attending and elsewhere, can I get involved in to support my education and career path? This could also be about helping life needs. So here, she's focused on MCC and ASU. Again, I'd like to see two transfer options, but for now, let's work with that. She went to the student life page, pre health advising from ASU, MCC and ASU. Good stuff. Here's what she found. So she, from the student life webpage, she found a couple of clubs, the pre-med club and the pre-health club, that actually are at the campus she's at. Very good. She found meeting times and she explains a little bit of the why on how those might interest her, helping her find groups with shared experiences and degree aspirations. She went to ASU. You want to learn, right? What's available for involvement at where you're going, wherever that is. She found the ASU pre-health advising site, and it's interesting. She mentions volunteer and clinical experiences set up through ASU, Hospice of the Valley. You can develop empathy for end of life patients. St. Joe's Hospital in Phoenix, Phoenix Children's Hospital. Those are some great opportunities for involvement that ASU offers. She also strategizes through ChatGPT, and ChatGPT adds to the conversations. There might be just developmental workshops, seminars, conferences that give networking and overall involvement opportunities. That's a great suggestion. So now she summarizes by saying she needs to research how to apply for and get admitted into these involvement opportunities. It's pretty general. Again, there should be a concluding paragraph here. The organization is a little bit off right here. And her final question for you, this is a free choice. If I do not get into medical school, what other opportunities exist? Okay, so that is her personal question. Again, you have to come up with your own research question to investigate that meets your particular needs. For her case, that's a great question. Medical school is competitive. If she's gotten a bachelor's degree in somewhere in biosciences, what other opportunities might be available for her? Here's what she found. Um, she went to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics occupational handbook. You have to do the same. Under physicians and surgeons, it also lists chiropractors, dentists, nurse practitioners, optometrists, um, physician assistant. And here we see a typical physician assistant may not have as high of a median pay as maybe a fully certified physician might be. But again, that's another opportunity. And that is a pretty darn good salary that can be a fulfilling path. So there we go. She's using valid research sources and gaining insight on what something she wants to learn. Also, She went to another career resource on bio and life sciences. And it also mentioned non healthcare careers that somehow have to do with biosciences. Being a biologist and a zoologist, that interests her. Here's a student who loves medical anatomy, and she's at least getting an overview and therefore empowering herself about other potential careers. Great. She also goes through ChatGPT and gets ideas on what research field and lab work might look like. That's another option, where she could somehow research medical science, even if that doesn't entail going to medical school. And a little bit about also the causes, conservation efforts, and environmental issues. Not the exact same skill set, but we are talking about going deep into sciences. And now she's recognizing the pros and cons of being a physician's assistant, and that she doesn't need to make decisions, but that's another really viable career path. Great, she's learned a lot. Now, this is what you need to accomplish for the practice draft to fully complete your research with step 3. For the sake of this video, we are going to skip over conclusions. For you, I gave you a template, a mentor text template. You can just leave it blank for now. Should you choose to get ahead, that's up to you. But we'll talk more about what your 3 key takeaways were from your research. That's the essence of your conclusions. She learned how to apply a SWOT analysis, which classes to take, and extracurricular opportunities. Again, we're going to skip over analysis of this section, but that's all step 4 is. What are your 3 key takeaways? And you loop back to your evidence. It's a little 5-paragraph essay within your essay. That is not due by your practice draft due date. So 1, 2, 3 body paragraphs, little conclusion, and step 5. Step 5 is also not due until the final project draft. You can just leave the template as is, and that would be okay when you submit your project draft or start your practice draft. But to preview, we see a semester by semester basis based on the research on what I'm requiring a minimum of 2 action steps with a little bit of discussion as to the why. This, I can tell you, she was thin in the detail she gave and the level of analysis. But the organization is there. Spring 24, summer 24, fall 24, spring, summer, fall, and breaking these up. One of the things to look ahead is summertime is a great time for internships, work studies, lots of dynamic learning opportunities, medical institutes, campus visits, and so forth. But let's talk about the works cited. That is due still in its entirety for the practice draft. That's where I should see, in alphabetical order, works cited A, B, C, and so forth. When it comes to these resources, again, you need 12 that I prescribe. You need to go to the practice draft assignment where they're listed. But beyond the 12, you need to cite them somewhere in the writing and then into your works cited under this basic formatting. This should have been double spaced all the way through. I'm nitpicking a little bit. You do see the hanging indent. I already set up the template and gave you some examples, so you should be okay with that. One thing to really emphasize, if I see it in the writing, I should easily be able to locate it either by the author's last name, title of the page, institution, somewhere. I don't want to nitpick too much on MLA format and works cited, but you need to have those 12 mandatory resources plus your free choice resources, and those in fact need to be in the works cited for your practice draft all the way through. Submit it as nothing different than either a PDF or a Microsoft Word file. Do not submit me a link to your file. I will not accept that. It needs to be a hard copy, needs to be a digital file, right, of the whole Microsoft Word document or as a PDF. I will be running these through plagiarism checkers, so you know. I have no problem, again, with you consulting ChatGPT and citing it, ChatGPT helping you even organize your ideas, come up with research questions, and so forth, brainstorming resources to go through. It cannot be your writing. However, when it comes to a particular aspect, if you are struggling with MLA format, including the citation of resources, I welcome you to use ChatGPT. You may write a few sentences, share, let me just scroll up. You may say, here is the sentence that I wrote right here. I'm trying to cite this in MLA format. Please check my citations and even suggest how to cite the same writing, keeping it in proper MLA format. And if you're making adjustments to that, I don't see that as plagiarism. You're using critically ChatGPT as a tool to help you succeed in college. It's not doing your critical thinking for you, it's cleaning up your formatting, and I can certainly live with that. Okay, at this point in time, that's going to close up step 2. Meet your deadlines, go through the process, and let's see the best come out with you.